Okay. I have a confession to make, and I think a lot of people listening are going to relate to this.
Let us hear it.
So here is my morning, every morning. I wake up before my feet even hit the floor. I reach for my phone. I check the news. 3 pieces of bad news. I check social media. Someone I went to school with just got promoted. I check my email. My boss wants something urgent. And then I scroll for 25 minutes, and by the time I actually get out of bed, I am already anxious, already drained, already overwhelmed, and I have not even started my day. And the worst part is, I know it is bad for me. I know, but I still do it every single morning. It is like I cannot stop.
Can I tell you something that might surprise you?
Please.
A man named Seneca would recognize your morning instantly. He described it almost word for word, about 2,000 years ago.
Wait, 2,000 years ago? Seneca did not have a smartphone.
No, he did not. But he had the Roman equivalent: gossip networks, political intrigue, social climbing, letters arriving from every corner of the empire demanding his attention. Seneca was one of the busiest men in Rome. He was advisor to Emperor Nero, one of the richest men in the empire, a playwright, a philosopher, and he wrote about exactly what you just described.
What did he say?
He wrote a book called On the Shortness of Life, and the opening line is devastating. He said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." He described people who are always busy but never productive, always reacting but never choosing, always occupied but never present. He called it the preoccupation of the busy.
The preoccupation of the busy. Oh my God, that is literally my life. I am busy all day and I go to bed feeling like I did nothing meaningful.
And Seneca saw this everywhere in Rome. People filling their days with distractions, attending events they did not care about, chasing status they did not need, responding to every demand on their attention. Sound familiar?
That is literally social media. That is literally the notification economy.
The technology changes. The human wiring does not. We are running the same software our ancestors ran, the same anxiety, the same need for approval, the same tendency to react instead of respond. Seneca saw it in ancient Rome. We see it on our phones.
Okay. That is actually kind of comforting in a weird way, like, it is not just me. It is not just our generation. This is a human problem.
It is a deeply human problem, and the Stoics spent centuries developing tools to deal with it. Let me give you another example. Think about social media for a moment. What does the algorithm reward?
Engagement, reactions, outrage. Honestly, the angrier something makes you, the more you interact with it.
Exactly. Social media rewards reaction. The faster you react, the more you engage, the more the algorithm feeds you. It is designed to trigger your emotions and bypass your thinking.
Right.
Now, Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, said something about 1900 years ago that is almost eerie in how perfectly it describes this. He said, "It is not things that upset us, but our judgments about things."
It is not things that upset us, but our judgments about things.
Think about what that means in the context of social media. You see a post. The post is just information, but your brain instantly makes a judgment. That is unfair. That is outrageous. I cannot believe they said that. And it is the judgment, not the post, that triggers your emotional reaction. The algorithm knows this. It feeds you content designed to trigger judgments. Epictetus identified the mechanism. Social media weaponized it.
Oh wow, so the algorithm is literally exploiting the thing Epictetus warned us about, our judgments.
That is exactly right. And Stoicism teaches the opposite of what the algorithm wants. The algorithm wants you to react instantly. Stoicism teaches you to pause, examine your judgment, and then choose your response. React less, respond more. That single shift changes everything about how you experience the modern world.
React less, respond more. I need that on a sticky note.
Put it on your phone right next to the apps that are trying to make you react.
Okay. So here is something I want to push back on a little bit. because this all sounds great in theory. But is there any actual evidence that this works? Like beyond ancient philosophy?
I am so glad you asked that because here is something that might genuinely surprise you. The most evidence-based therapy in the modern world, the therapy with the most clinical research behind it, is called cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT.
Yeah, I have heard of CBT. I have actually done some CBT with my therapist.
Good. Then this will really hit home. CBT was directly inspired by Epictetus, the two founders of cognitive therapy, Aaron Beck and Albert Ellis, both explicitly credited the Stoics as their primary influence. When your therapist says, challenge the thought, that is literally Stoicism.
Wait. So when my therapist says, what is the evidence for that thought? That is ancient philosophy?
Almost word for word, Epictetus said it first, about 1900 years earlier. He just did not charge by the hour.
Huh. Okay, that is actually incredible. So this is not just some old philosophy that sounds nice. This is actually validated by modern science.
By the most rigorous clinical research we have, hundreds of studies, thousands of patients. CBT works for anxiety, depression, PTSD, anger management, insomnia, and its core mechanism is Stoic. Examine your judgments, challenge your interpretations, choose your response. Stoicism is not alternative medicine, it is the original medicine.
Stoicism is the original medicine. That is a line.
And here is why this matters for your morning routine. Remember what you described? Waking up, grabbing your phone, scrolling through bad news, arriving at work already anxious?
Yeah, my daily disaster.
That cycle is not happening because the world is terrible. It is happening because of your relationship to the information you are consuming without filtering, reacting without choosing, and every reaction drains your energy before you have even started your day.
So it is not the news that is the problem, it is how I am consuming it.
Exactly. Marcus Aurelius dealt with reports from every corner of the Roman Empire. Plague reports, war reports, betrayal reports, information that was genuinely life and death. And he did not start his morning by drowning in it. He started his morning by preparing his mind. He wrote in his journal. He reminded himself what was in his control and what was not. He chose how to meet the day before the day hit him.
He prepared his mind before the information hit. That is the opposite of what I do. I let the information hit me and then I try to recover.
And that is the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is letting the world set your emotional state. Responding is choosing your emotional state and then engaging with the world from that place.
Okay, that is a huge shift, and I want to try it. But I also know myself. I need something concrete, something I can actually do. What is the practice?
I love it. Here is what I want you to try. I call it the phone audit. For one full day, just notice every time you pick up your phone reactively, not intentionally, not because you need to make a call or check a specific thing, but out of habit, out of boredom, out of anxiety.
Just notice it?
Just notice it. Keep a tally on a piece of paper or in a notes app every time you catch yourself reaching for your phone without a clear purpose. Mark it down. Do not change anything. Do not try to stop. Just count.
And what is the point of counting without changing?
Seneca said that awareness of wasted time is the first step to reclaiming it. You cannot change a pattern you have not noticed. Most people have no idea how often they reach for their phone. The number will shock you, and that shock, that awareness, is the beginning of change.
Awareness is the first step. You cannot change a pattern you have not noticed. Okay, I am doing this tomorrow.
Good, no judgment, just observation. That is the Stoic way.
Okay, let me pull together what we covered today.
Go for it.
Number 1. The modern world creates exactly the kind of chaos Stoicism was designed to handle. Anxiety, distraction, outrage, and the illusion of control are not new problems. They are ancient problems with new technology. Number 2. Seneca diagnosed our relationship with busyness and distraction 2,000 years ago. He called it the preoccupation of the busy. The technology changed, but the human wiring did not. Number 3. Cognitive behavioral therapy, the most evidence-based therapy in modern psychology, was directly inspired by Epictetus and Stoic philosophy. This is not just ancient wisdom, it is scientifically validated. Number 4. Stoicism teaches you to respond instead of react, and that single shift changes everything about how you experience the modern world. And number 5. Awareness is the first step. You cannot change a pattern you have not noticed. Start with the phone audit.
Beautifully done, Seneca would approve.
If this resonated with you, follow Stoicism mentality wherever you are listening. We release new episodes every week.